Hey guys, so I know there's a lot of new people to the Qubic network, and in my videos, I like to generally jump deep into things about Qubic, but I'm realizing that probably some people listen to these videos now don't even know the basics of Qubic, or just trying to get to know what Qubic is and what's the potential for it. So in this video, I'm going to explain to you exactly what Qubic is, the basics of Qubic, and the bigger picture of what it's trying to become and what it can be. So let's get into it. So Qubic basically is a layer 1 or a layer 0 blockchain, depending on what way you look about it. Generally, I think it's operating as a layer 1 right now, but in the future, it could be seen as a layer 0 blockchain. So just to understand what a layer 0 is, so a layer 1 blockchain anyway is just, it's the fundamental layer that a blockchain is built on. So it's what everything exists on. So for example, you could have smart contracts running on it, oracles running on it, other apps built on it. And then a layer 2 blockchain is something like, for example, if you look at the Ethereum network, I think it's Ethereum or Solana, I can't remember which, they have the project called Render built on top of it. And it's like another blockchain, but it's all built on top of Ethereum or Solana or whichever network it is. So it's kind of like other blockchains would build a smaller network on top of the existing network, is what a layer 2 is. So Qubic right now exists as a layer 1, and something else could build on top of it if it wanted to. But then what a layer 0 blockchain is it's the foundational physical and digital infrastructure layer that enables various layer 1 blockchains to operate and communicate with each other. It provides the underlying hardware, network protocols, connectivity, and consensus mechanisms that allow different blockchain networks to interoperate and share data seamlessly, thereby enhancing scalability and creating a more unified ecosystem. And popular examples are layer 0 platforms, including Cosmos and Polkadot, which connect diverse blockchain networks to foster interoperability. Now, that's a mouthful, but basically what Qubic is trying to do, and what some of these other networks try to do, is they try to connect networks like Ethereum with Bitcoin and allow them to share information across networks. But Qubic's aiming to do that with all crypto, but also with basically everything that exists in the world, as we'll explain in later as we move on this video. So a real important element of Qubic is it's built on bare metal using UEFI, which I can't remember exactly what that stands for, but it's a type of programming anyway called UEFI program, or UEFI programming. And it's the process of creating executable code that runs during the computer's boot sequence and providing a standardized interface between the platform firmware and the operating system. Developed to replace BIOS, UEFI programming involves using the UEFI API and protocols to access services like memory allocation, console input and output, file system access to perform tasks like loading bootloaders, drivers, and applications. This allows for faster, more secure, and more feature-rich firmware development compared to older BIOS systems. Again, another mouthful, but basically what it means is Qubic, as far as I know, it's the only crypto network that is coded using UEFI. And what it means is it doesn't need an operating system. It actually works with the underlying components of hardware. You're probably thinking, why is that important to me? Well, the reason it's important is because it makes Qubic way faster and way more secure than other cryptos, because it's not going through a crypto network. It's working straight out of the hardware memory. And that's why Qubic's so quick and so scalable. Basically, Qubic has been certified as the fastest blockchain ever. I mean, that's up for dispute still. We have to see in time how quick Qubic is under the stress of real world application, but it does seem like it's possibly the quickest blockchain ever, and it's definitely in testing it has been proven as that. And quick is a strange word, more like the most scalable blockchain ever, and that's why it can operate as layer 0 and basically underlie the whole infrastructure of the world. It's able to scale to those levels. So Qubic currently is able to run 15.5 million. That people would think that's transactions per second, but it's actually transfers per second. So it can run 15.5 million smart contracts per second right now, which is an amazing result. There's no other blockchain comes even close to Qubic like this. So then, as we said, Qubic has smart contracts built onto it. And smart contracts are just self-executing, transparent and automated digital agreements with the terms of an agreement directly written into the code. They run on a blockchain which ensures the rules are followed precisely and eliminates the need for intermediaries like lawyers or banks, leading to trustless, automated, and often more efficient processes. Get another mouthful, but what does that mean? It means that Qubic has automated code written into it. So, for example, I could say, when this person paints my house, I will pay them money. Now, right now, how would you track if someone painted your house? Well, there could be in the near future an Internet of Things device in your house that can scan the house, the walls of the house, just a camera scans and checks was the job done. And the minute it scans and sees, okay, the whole job's done, it sends an automated payout to someone. Also, in something like gambling or betting, you could bet in a match and you could bet Newcastle are going to beat Liverpool 4-0 in a soccer match. When that result actually happens, the smart contract executes and it pays out anyone who thought that was going to be the score of the game. Which brings it up another interesting thing that Qubic has, and it's got a thing called blockchain oracles. And an oracle is a third party, generally an oracle is a third party service for smart contracts. Oracles provide trusted information based on the outside world sources to the on-blockchain smart contracts. And Oracle typically encapsulates the real-world complexity outside of the blockchain. So the only difference here with Qubic is it says this is third-party services. With Qubic, they actually have their own oracles, thousands of them that can operate at the same time. So they're taking in real-world data and feeding it into smart contracts. So, for example, it could be something else to do with the weather, and maybe when the weather hits a certain temperature, the fans turn on in a house or turn on in a farm or something like that, through Internet of Things devices. So the oracles would feed in the real world data. Then a smart contract looks at that, runs a computation towards Internet of Things devices that go and turn on fans in a house. That could be an example. Or again, when we're using the betting example, the oracles connect to the real world data feeds of what's happening in soccer matches all over the world. When results happen in a soccer match, a smart contract then executes and pays people out on the results of those matches. And then Qubic has Feeless payments. So most blockchain networks actually cost money to make a payment or send money from one wallet to another wallet. With Qubic, that's Feeless, and that's done through something really important called Quorum consensus. And the reason that that's so powerful is that it means that Qubic can be used for Internet of Things devices without small costs here and there that add up to huge costs when you've got millions of devices running at the same time. Qubic can do that all feelessly. So that's a really, really powerful element of Qubic. Then Qubic is based on something called Quorum, and the Quorum consists of 676 members. I'm going to have a video coming out soon about what the Quorum is, but just trust me when I say that it's really, really powerful for the Qubic network, and it keeps everything decentralized. It makes the smart contracts decentralized. It makes the oracles decentralized. It makes every decision on the network decentralized, and it makes Qubic, it prevents Qubic from being taken over by a single entity. For example, when you send money from one place to another place, generally a bank is a centralized intermediary in that transaction. So the bank will say, yeah, John sent $1 or $1 to Gary over there. And the bank agrees on that. But the bank then, in a way, can be corrupt, or they can charge their own fees, or they can do things in ways that aren't completely trusted by people. But with the Quorum, the way it works is once 67% of the Quorum agree that a transaction has happened, the transaction goes through. And this happens every 2 seconds. So every time you send a transaction, 2 seconds later, it'll be confirmed and arrive in the other person's wallet, and it all comes from the Quorum consensus. Quorum also has decision-making power they can take some of Qubic's income, and when 67% of them agree on something, they can go and direct that income towards things like, for example, paying people like me to make videos, or paying a marketing budget to get people to run ads, to buy companies, all sorts of things it can be used for. But it's all done in a decentralized manner. That's really, really powerful. And then Qubic, one of the most powerful things about it is it's based in something called useful proof of work. And this is a really important concept to look into if you don't understand it, but I'll go over it just slightly. But it's completely unique to Qubic. So if you take the Bitcoin network, for example, there's miners. So they're just people who have, laptops or computers, and they mine Bitcoin. And by doing that, they trade their computational power, so the power of their computer and the electricity of their house, they trade it onto they use it to mine Bitcoin, and that secures the Bitcoin network. And in return for that, they earn Bitcoin, and they're just doing a pointless task. Basically, they're solving a cryptographic puzzle, and once they solve that puzzle, they can get paid a Bitcoin, or a percentage of a Bitcoin. Now, where Qubic, or where that's kind of insane, is that, like, if you look at all these devices here, for Bitcoin, just millions of devices all over the world, and Bitcoin uses more computational energy, more electricity than most nations now in the world. It's just a huge amount of energy. Hundreds of millions of hardware infrastructure goes into Bitcoin, and loads of other crypto blockchains do the same thing, and it's just wasted energy. But Qubic, through the clever way that's been programmed, can take all that compute power and that energy and redirect it towards other tasks, and actually use that power towards something. So imagine Bitcoin has hundreds of millions worth of power and infrastructure. Qubic gathers all that infrastructure for free because miners are getting paid in Qubic to give that power, and then it can redirect it towards other tasks and perform these tasks for free. So just outsourcing computation. So it's basically all about these computer chips, which a lot of people clever than me would call computational power like the oil of the future, because there's only so many of these computational chips around. But Qubic somehow has managed to build this complete decentralized computing power network of these computational chips, and does it for free. It's insane. And right now you can see an example of Qubic using this computational power, and they're mining the Monero network, and Monero's in danger of being taken over by the Qubic network. And basically what this all means, and this is the big picture of Qubic, is it's a decentralized supercomputer. So if you think that Qubic has all this power coming in from all these miners, and it's getting all those for free, and then it can take real world data from its oracles and put that real world data and run computations on it in real time in a decentralized manner through this Quorum. And then it can execute the smart contracts that we're talking about. So it can actually go and run smart contracts based on the power that comes into it. It's just like this almost living, breathing supercomputer. And right now, Qubic is actually considered the 6th biggest supercomputer in the world, and it's completely decentralized, and they've built all that power for free. So if you look at this supercomputer, for example, it's all based in one building, but Qubic is based in buildings and houses all over the world, like just people on their laptops. Even on your phone, you could mine Qubic. So it's a really, really, really powerful idea. And the bigger picture of what they're trying to do with all this is they're using this useful proof of work power to mine Monero, but they're also using it to train an AI. And this AI the goal of it is to achieve something called an AGI, so an artificial general intelligence, which is actual conscious AI that's cleverer than all humans. Now, I don't know if that'll ever happen, but what I do know is that they're going down what's perceived to be the right track to do this. They've got scientists that are peer reviewing their work and saying that they are on the right path towards something. But before that AGI even comes, or if it ever comes, they've got something even better, or not even better, but something short term that's better for us as just current investors in Qubic. They've got an AI. Well, we haven't seen the results of this, but we believe, and we will see soon, hopefully, that they're developing AI tools that are built in this network. So, and actually live on the decentralized computer. So they can look at smart contracts and create smart contracts. They can look at data coming in from all over the world and make decisions based on that data, like clever decisions. And then they can use all this computational power to actually affect the outside world and make computations happen. And it's all done in a decentralized manner. It's a really, 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 really powerful concept. I mean, that is an overview of what Qubic is for someone who's just discovering Qubic for the first time. Obviously, you can dive way, way deeper into all these subjects, and I will in later videos. But for now, I just wanted to touch on what Qubic actually is for you guys out there that still don't understand the bigger picture of what this network is, why it's so powerful, and why it's so much bigger than just blockchain or crypto. This is something that can underpin everything in the world and change the world completely. You know, it's risky. There's no guarantees with anything. They mightn't achieve what they're aiming to achieve, but if they do, even if they come close, 100 million Qubic, a billion Qubic, you know, is going to be worth a fortune, you know, in 5 or 10 years. Anyway, guys, that's all I've got for you today. I'll see you all on the outside.